It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COWMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep on showing up to witness. Fit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. We are in the mobile studio. Some kind of unexpected travel coming in. So I'm trying to get some background music as well as my voice dialed in here. So if that's a problem, let me know and I will just kill the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is January 21st, 2025. This is episode 796 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, me, you, Brexy, Chris Whitlock, the entire pre-show Jawjacking crew, Code Brew in the Upstate, Evans, Roswell, UK, DJ B-Sec behind the glass. Mod teams like Jenny Housley and Jesse Johnson getting up early, Stones fan out in Phoenix, Marcus Kyler in the Detroit Rock City, and so many others. People, we are all freezing across the country, so please stay warm wherever you are. I know it's a bit of a cold spell. But we are going to get it done, and you know what's going to help us melt that cold front, the coldness that's pushing down on so many of us? The hot news of cybersecurity. That's right. We're going to be going through the top cyber stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories alongside Space Taco's favorite hashtag Sippy Cup. And we will be, I'll be ripping apart the stories, basically trying to distill value from the story, something that you can apply at work, either tactically or strategically. The goal here is to deliver value in exceeding your expectations, and that's what we do. If you're a solo operator, hashtag Team Solo, like my friend Robert, Stones fan, know that you've got a remote workforce, guys. The Simply Cyber community is a community of supportive and inclusive people, so don't feel like you got to go it alone. You got hundreds and hundreds of live virtual coworkers who you can bounce ideas off of and, you know, even vent to if you want. Just don't disclose any sensitive information and we'll be cracking. And if you are looking to break into the industry, my friend, fear not. And don't feel alone any longer. Literally, the Simply Cyber community is here to help people break into cybersecurity, demystify all the nonsense, and connect with like-minded, cool people. And when I say cool, I really mean cool people. There are so many different, wild, cool, interesting people in our community. Hashtag Team SC, and a coffee cup cheers to you. This is my Goju's keeping me warm on a freezing cold day, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, where I am currently in the mobile studio. Now, I want you to know I don't research or prep for any of these shows. As many of you know, hey, Shane Prevost, it's been a minute. Good to see you. Oh, hold on. Sounds like when I play the sound effect is low, too. I think the sound effect in the I think the sound effect and the music are on the same track. So, yeah, they are. So I can't play music and here. Yeah, so that's gonna be an issue. We'll have to work through that as the show goes. It wouldn't be a Simply Cyber production with a little bit of audio issues, right? I don't want to disappoint anyone. So I want you to know I don't research or prep for any of these stories that we're about to be going through, because it's just, it's better that way to not do that. So I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what we're going to see. We're going to discover it together, and that's part of the experience here at Simply Cyber. Now, before I get into it, let me say what's up, shout out, mad love, holy cap. Can we just really quickly let's run a contest really quickly, just a dynamic contest. Right now, what is your feels like temperature? Because I think we may have a winner chicken dinner. So if wherever you are right now, I'll just tell you my feels like temperature is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold. I'm actually wearing like a pullover right now because it's so cold and I'm inside. Let us know what your feels like temperature is right now, because I think we may have a winner and I'm kind of curious. All right, hold on really quickly. We got a first timer, guys. Hey, squad members, get ready to welcome with open arms our friend Simply Curly. Simply Curly says, I'm a first timer. Well, I've watched this live playback, but my first time live. Hey, y'all. Working on getting my Coursera cybersecurity cert. Simply Curly, welcome to the party, pal. Hold on one second. We cannot have the sound effects muted here. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. Simply Curly. 11 degrees in New York. Should get up to 18. Feels like 2. Okay. Oof. Gliss 86 is at negative 16. Cyber from Fire is at negative 25. Ooh, we might have a winner here. Hold on one second. I know this is a bit of a departure from the news, but this is negative 24. Sharon, negative 24 Celsius. That's really cold. Where are you? Like in the freezer? All right. Holy crap. Here we go. Guys, we got a winner already. DD Nelson Gerald, all caps. I got a job and used your YouTube in my interview. I came in like a wrecking ball. Holy crap, dude. I was concerned that today was going to be kind of a mess because of the mobile studio and like the last minute travel. And we are just killing it. The engagement is like super high. Everybody's in a good mood. The coffee is flowing. Even though people are freezing, it seems like we are in good spirits. And DD Nelson is wrecking jobs. We got some first timers in chat. Simply Curly. I mean, Jesus, guys, we're 6 minutes into the show and we're already. I would already chalk this up as a win. Everything else is just gravy at this point. Let's go. All right. So before we get into it, I do want to say shout out and love to the stream sponsors. What's up, Justin Gold in chat? Blizzard warning in Louisiana. What is going on right now? Let me say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this hot news takes to you. Starting with Delete Me. Delete Me, as you guys know, I've been using Delete Me for some time. I actually got my privacy report just yesterday in the mail from them. Enjoy that. I'm actually going to be getting it as a gift for my aunt and uncle who are a little bit older and a little bit concerned about how to deal with the threat actors. Let's do a quick ad read with Delete Me. I'll scan through chat and see if I can find who is the coldest in the community this morning.
As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. Cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber.
All right. Now, hopefully, hey, really quickly during that ad read, I switched the mixer around. So now you should hear the music kind of in the background, but also hear our sound effects at a much more reasonable level. So real-time production fixing up in here. Guys, we might have a winner here. It looks like Jeff Watala, negative 41. If someone can beat negative 41, let's go. We have another first-timer in chat, Chaos SG. Welcome to the party, pal, Chaos SG. I love it. I love it. Guys, this is great. Definitely appreciate all of you. I want you to know that every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, even though, we're throwing it back like it looks like I'm in a college dorm room and I've, cobbled together like a pirate radio station, this episode is going to be worth half a CPE for each of you. Just grab a screenshot. Chat is right there today. You can see chat right there today. Go ahead, say what's up in chat. Hashtag TeamSC, hashtag first timer, hashtag, I'm freezing my Tookus off, whatever you want. But just grab a screenshot, file it away, and once a year, counting up the number of screenshots, divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5, your choice. Jeff Watala might be... I'm in Maxwell Baggins asking where I am. I am in Atlanta. So some of you may know I've been traveling to Atlanta for some work the last couple months. We thought we were done. We thought we were done in December, but they've extended the contract just a little bit. So I'll be here this week and actually part of next week. So hot Atlanta, if you will. All right, guys. If you are in chat, let us know you're here, as you all have been letting us know that you're here already. But drop a hashtag TeamSC. We always do enjoy it. I do want to say I appreciate all of you. I know the ad reads can be kind of problematic and frustrating and stuff, but they do enable me to bring the show the way I can, and the ability to kind of level up and invest back into it. As you guys have seen, I do try to be very transparent with y'all. Before we get into the hot news of Hot Atlanta, let's just do one quick read with Antisyphon. It's a quick one. We'll check if John Strand's got any training coming up, and then we will boogie into the news of the day. I did skim the articles when I set them up today. Not skim the articles, the headlines. Seems like a lot less kind of political stuff. I do want to make one quick programming note really quickly. I do serve this community, okay? And I try to be transparent. I try to I live the core values of the Simply Cyber, including support, inclusion, empowerment, high value delivery. And yesterday's news stories, just by virtue of what they were a little bit more political in nature than cyber in nature. And I do my best to stay apolitical on the show and not bring politics or religion into the conversation, because it's very polarizing topics and people get very opinionated. And I guess I did go a little off script and did do a little political. I only bring this up because there were some comments on replay of individuals who did not appreciate me being a little bit more political and sharing my views. And I just caught up in the moment, didn't realize it. And I just, basically holding myself accountable to all of you and letting you know that I do strive to bring the program to you in an apolitical, safe, inclusive way. So I'm not saying anyone's wrong. Anyone did anything wrong. I'm just letting you all know about that. All right, so let's do a quick read with Antisyphon, and then when I come back, we're gonna melt your face with the top news of the day. It's gonna be spicy.
Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing, as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other, all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it.
All right, we are ready to. Everybody, buckle up, right? Woo, woo, woo. If you've ever done a train ride, right? Like, buckle up. We just get the initial lurch here, and now we are about to go. So sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news. Spicy. And really quickly, if you are wondering, you can thank DJ BSEC for that spicy. The mobile studio spicy sound effect is a gift from DJ BSEC. And I forgot it was loaded in here, so it will be our official spicy for the day. All right, let's go. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. I'm Sean Kelly. HPE investigates breach claims. Last Thursday, well-known hacker Intel Broker alleged they're selling data from the systems of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Intel Broker claims the compromised data includes source code for Zerto and ILO products, private GitHub repositories, digital certificates, Docker builds, and personal info from old user deliveries. Intel Broker also says they're offering access to some HPE services, including APIs, WePay, GitHub, and GitLab. The company confirmed it's investigating the claims and says so far they have not experienced any operational impacts.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. In our world of, it's like ransomware every other day, and businesses getting hit, manufacturing companies. This is a big deal. Now, this is one of those ones where, fortunately, me, you, DJ BSEC, Space Tacos, Miguel Ramos, like, we can all stand on the sidelines. It's like watching a car wreck, or like there's black ice. And if for those who don't know what black ice is, because I'm from the north and it's just everybody knows it. Black ice is where like there's a thin layer of ice on the road, but because the road is dark and you can't really see. It's not like thick lake ice. You can't really see it, but it is incredibly dangerous, and you can like lose control of your car really quickly. It's basic. This story is basically like all of us #Team SC standing on the sideline, just watching cars whip by on black ice. And HP Enterprise basically just did a 360 donut into a parking meter. So we can watch from this. We can learn from this. We don't want to be this. Now, if you work at HPE, cat's out of the bag. I mean, you've already experienced the issue. They are investigating the claims, which basically, again, best practice is you don't come out and yell breach, okay? That's like not a good move. It's like suspecting you may have like, I don't know, COVID or something. And then just like before you get the test results, you just stick your head out the window and you're like, I have COVID. Like you would never do that, right? You would never want to yell breach. Again, it kicks off a bunch of processes when you yell breach. However, having said this, there's only a few... Who is this? Nick Barker, 32 months, blue badge. Hey, Nick. Hey, listen, there's a couple threat actors out there who are kind of like lone wolves or, throwbacks to a yesteryear when there was like, the movie Swordfish, and you got the guy from like Eastern Europe who wears like a big mink coat, and he's like, uses dual keyboards with neon lights around him and stuff like that. Like most threat actors nowadays, they usually like operate on a team. If you look at any of the more sophisticated, advanced, persistent threat actors, the ransomware gangs, the North Korean Lazarus groups, like they kind of have a team, right? Not to say that one of them isn't the best, but like this kind of like lone wolf thing is less common. But Intel Broker, I'm assuming it's a he, by the way. He is legit. So if Intel Broker says that he gotcha, it's a safe bet, right? Like take that as your stone cold lock of the week on your pick'ems that Intel Broker did in fact get him. So they're going to do the investigation. This is a pretty deep haul. I don't know if you guys watch makeup videos. I know some of you may or may not, because of my wife and because I like to do research on the things I'm going to purchase for my wife. I've watched a lot of makeup videos. I probably know more about makeup than I really should. And this is like a killer drugstore haul. If you know what I'm talking about, people. The threat actor, he got GitHub repos, digital certs, Docker builds. He's definitely got keys. He's got PII. He's he's got the jewels, all right? So HP is going to have to pay up. I would assume he's going to be trying to hold them ransom against them. Does it say anything? I feel like Intel Broker typically sells his booty to the criminal underground, less to the victim themselves. There isn't much more story here. Basically, Intel Broker got him, and that's it. Listen, if a threat actor notifies you that that they got your data, you do have to respect the investigation. Typically, just as a pro tip, typically you would want to ask for like a couple pieces of evidence to support the claim as legitimate. That's not unreasonable. Threat actors will do it because literally they have terabytes of data. Like they could give an F about like here's some screenshots of emails, like whatever. All right. All right, you younger gens, why don't you chill out? All right, booty is an appropriate term to use. We're talking about the jewels, right? It's what pirates used to call it. Angular, I do know about makeup. I don't wear makeup, but my wife is into makeup. And if you want to get your significant other a gift that says I did more than just get you a gift card, like I don't know. To me, it's like. I guess this is like a Tidbits Tuesday a little early. It's like, all right, who you watch? Okay, now like let's watch their video on like must gets for Christmas holidays or whatever, like super deep cut drugstore hauls. Yeah, let's go.
Former CIA analyst pleads guilty for sharing top secret files. 34-year-old Asif William Rahman of Vienna is facing up to 10 years behind bars for sharing top-secret documents on social media. The DOJ said Rahman was employed with the CIA since 2016 and repeatedly printed out classified documents before taking them home, where he altered them to try and conceal their source. Reports suggest the incident included top-secret documents about Israel's military plans to retaliate against Iran following Iranian ballistic missile strikes in October. Rahman leaked the documents on social media, resulting in a major embarrassment to the Pentagon and causing massive geopolitical tension in the Middle East. In addition to altering documents and journal logs, Rahman also tried to hide his tracks by destroying a personal smartphone and router he used to upload the classified information, ultimately discarding them into a public trash bin. Data of nearly half.
All right, so this clown baby, former CIA analyst. So I don't know if he was a CIA analyst when he was getting access to this data. I would assume so. He printed out secret documents. See, it says he shared the top secret documents on social media. The way it reads, it sounds like almost like he gave the documents to someone and they posted it. But the guys from Vienna, as if it didn't need to be like James Bond enough. For what it's worth, guys, I would say like stealing top secret. By the way, really quickly, just so everybody's on the same page, there's two security classifications. I mean, well, there's more than two, but like for the most part, there's two security classifications in the United States, federal data classification system. There's secret and there's top secret. There's actually like unclassified, if you want to call that a data classification. So there's unclass, there's secret, and then there's top secret. And it all gets compartmentalized and everything like that, meaning like if you have top secret, you don't get to like walk into any base you want and be like, I have top secret, so I'll be taking all of your top secret data, thank you. Like you only get access to what you need access to. It's really, honestly, the United States government is, in my professional experience, the only place that I've ever seen true media labeling done correctly and true data classification done correctly. Media labeling as a security control is laughable. People put FOUO in the footer of documents, but no one pays it any mind. It's not like if you found something that said FOUO, you'd be like, oh, no, I won't look at it. It's like, no, it's a friggin' administrative control that doesn't get any respect. Also, I think, what's media labeling? MP5? I think it's called MP5 or MP4. I'm going to say 5. PBO probably knows it off the back of his head too. Hold on really quickly. I think it's called media marking. MP5's media transport. What a novice. Oh my God, what an absolute zero I am. Is it MP6? I feel like it's one of the higher ones. Oh, that's a sanitization. This is where you get to see me flounder as an absolute. Ugh. All right. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. God dang. MP4? Hold on one second. MP. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, last one, and then if it's not there, I'll just own the L. Okay, I own the L. Media, it's definitely MP3. Thank you, Eric Silberman. Eric Silberman knows what's up. All right, look at MP3. Here it is, media marking. Okay, mark system media indicating the distribution limitations, right? So this is compartmentalization. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to do a little GRC, more you know. Distribution limitations, that's literally the compartmentalization. Handling caveats, like you cannot print it out or you cannot take it out of this building, even though you do have access to, you do have authorization to access it, you can't take it weird places, and you have to put appropriate markings on it. If you've ever seen a top secret laptop, it basically has like a red sticker on it, and unclassified has a green sticker on it, so you can very quickly visually tell what it is. I can't see if it's been a minute. I can't remember. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so check this out really quickly. The different security baselines that require this, low does not, but moderate does. Most systems, I would say like 80% of systems, 85% of systems in federal are moderate, okay? Like system owners feel like having low baseline is like a Bush League move, so they don't want it. It feels like it devalues their system. So most systems go with moderate. This means you have to comply with this control, and I'm telling you, this is one of those controls that just is poorly implemented, and I've really only seen it done well once, and that's in the U.S. federal government. I bet you big finance and big pharma probably do it with like research and development type stuff, but I've never seen it. I never worked in those spaces either. Okay, so anyways, this goober leaks top secret documents. We are not talking about unclassified stuff. Nope, I'm talking about classified. This guy leaked top secret documents, and he's only going to get 10 years maximum. I'm not saying I want to do 1 second in a federal prison, but 10 years for leaking national security secrets, that seems, I don't know, that seems kind of light. I mean, this increased geopolitical tensions in Israel because it had documentation about Israel's military plans. It just, I don't know. The TLDR here is you guys definitely should, you can try to implement media classification. What I would suggest is insider threat type stuff. Make sure that people don't have access to what they don't need access to. That's really, to me, honestly, the best way to deliver cyber risk reduction for your organization is less around media labeling, like, oh, do not print this out, and more around access control. Like, so if this CIA guy never had access to those top secret documents, he could never have printed them out or posted them on social media. Now, granted, maybe he did have authorization and appropriate access to access those documents, which is now becomes an insider threat control. But I'm telling you right now, if you do privileged access management, if you do compartmentalize data, it does go a long way to helping basically get way left of boom, where the person never ever has a chance to even choose or be forced or coerced into making bad choices. So, there you go. Access control. We get a little technical control. We get a little authorization control. Sprinkle it on. Maybe a little salt bay, and we're off and running. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
500,000 hotel guests exposed. Customers of some of the world's best-known hotel chains had their personal information compromised after a threat actor gained unauthorized access to hotel management software provider Hotelier. Data breach notification site Have I Been Pwned added almost 500,000 unique accounts from the breach to its database over the weekend. HIBP indicated that the threat actor used the access to Hotelier systems to exfiltrate customer data from hotel chains including Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt. Stolen data included 437,000 customer email addresses, names, physical addresses, phone numbers, booking and purchase information, and partial credit card data. Researchers at dark web monitoring firm White Intel said that the incident likely stemmed from InfoStealer malware.
This sucks.
Ubico warns of 2FA security.
All right, we got a problem here. We should go to DEFCON 2. All right, so listen, if you work in hospitality, Kimberly can fix it. It's probably getting a little PTSD over here. Alana Boan, currently living that hospitality life. If you're in chat, Alana, what's up? Good to see you. If you're watching on replay, Alana, drop a comment. It's good to see you. Alana Boan met in person at Wild West Hackin' Fest. Great conference. All right, guys, 500,000 guests exposed. This is one of those ones where it's literally this company called Auger who messed up, right? Now, again, I don't want to dunk. I don't want to dunk on them so hard because, we as GRC professionals, GRC Mafia, we know that we can't reduce all risk. There is always residual risk, right? There's a line, and below it is everything that we've controlled, and then above it is everything that we cannot control that we basically accept. This breach is from a third party. So Marriott, Hilton, whatever, these big name brands, they spend all this money on image and brand and customer service, especially in hospitality. Customer service is where it's at. And then a third party who they had no control over breaches. And the story is Marriott's data breached, Hilton's data breach. No one has ever heard of Auger until today. No customer, no. I'm in a hotel room right now, right? I'm not going to get a third party breach letter from Auger. I'm going to get it from Marriott. So this is one of those ones where it's a really dangerous game. Well, it's not dangerous, but it's a game you have to be aware of when you are engaging in third-party supply chain type stuff. Yes, Marriott can outsource whatever guest management service Auger provides, and they can pay operational dollars because it's a SaaS product instead of capital dollars and having resources in-house and a data center and all this other jazz. It's the benefit. It's the beauty. It's the wonder of cloud, right? It's all the benefits of cloud. You get all the access, all the value, and it's just in time. You pay just in time. Well, the problem is you also assume all this third-party risk. So what I would tell you here is, number one, there's a good chance if you've ever stayed at a hotel in the last year or 2 years, I don't know how far back this data set goes, but you're probably going to get some type of identity theft protection. Throw it on the tire fire with all the other ones that you have. Jericho Pictures, Change Healthcare, AT&T. Again, the freaking list goes on. At this point, I wish I could resell some of my identity theft protection for pennies on the dollar so I could at least just get a little bit of straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
So what's the lesson learned here? Number one, you cannot eliminate all risk, right? So we have to you got to get comfortable with some risk. Second of all, this is where third-party risk management and those questionnaires come in. Now, the question isn't going to say on the questionnaire, are you going to be breached in the next year, right? That's dumb. No one's going to be able to answer that. Most people are going to say no. But as you doing an individual assessment, dude, if you're Marriott, you have buying power. Marriott is a juggernaut. Hilton is a juggernaut. So if you're going to be working with another business, you can basically be we have these minimum security requirements. Now, when you're dealing with a juggernaut, there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of hands in the cookie jar. So I don't know how much opportunity you have to influence that. But what you should be looking for, okay, me and a bunch of people in the Simply Cyber community are actually doing a short, like a YouTube short a day for the month of February. So look for that, and we'll promote everybody who's doing that in the community. But I filmed all 28 of my videos already, and one of them, they're all GRC, by the way, spoiler alert. So get ready for that, GRC Mafia. but one of them is about third-party risk and everything like that. Listen, here is the TLDR. On these third-party risks, when you send it to a vendor, right? Oh, we're going to do business with like one of these 5 vendors to provide a service. Fill out this questionnaire. 2 lessons here. 1, do not make the questionnaire so friggin' comprehensively exhaustive that it's like a 45-page document, because A, you're going to get crap answers from the vendor, and 2, like, are you really going to go through 45 times 5, right? So 5 different vendors, and you're going to read all that stuff, and you're asking them if they have like a modem, and like, you're like, okay. And then on top of all that, you got to have the hill you're going to die on. Like, so say you send a questionnaire out and you keep it limited, right? So do they do federated authentication? Where's the data stored? Is it, do they have incident response capabilities? Will they delete your data if you, leave them as a vendor? Stuff like this, right? So if the hill you're going to die on is like, let's say that you do this questionnaire or survey and you get your 5 responses back, and all of a sudden, like, Autillier doesn't have MFA and they don't do federated authentication, and it's just a friggin' yard sale over there. And but the CEO is like, oh, I played golf with the guy over at Autillier. Like, this is a solid deal. And it's like, is it though? Like, this is a pretty big risk. Like, if you're going to die on a hill for a third-party risk, you better have your ducks in a row, and you better have a very objective argument to be made. And you have to be willing to accept that you may not win that argument, and you're just going to kind of get straddled with this risk. And this is actually where the conversation will turn to when we're talking about who owns a breach, right? Is the CISO where the buck stops, or is it the CIO, the CEO, right? So if I'm like, oh, this thing's a dumpster fire, we shouldn't use it, and CEO's like, we're going to use it. Guess who wins that argument? The CEO every time. But then if this turns into this right here, this dumpster fire, then like, CISO doesn't own it. All right, that's a bigger conversation. Let's keep going.
Flaw affecting Linux and Mac OS users. Ubico has released a security advisory warning of a high-risk vulnerability within the software module that supports 2-factor authentication for Linux and Mac OS platforms. This issue allows for partial bypass of 2FA protections when using YubiKeys and other FIDO-compatible authenticators. This flaw primarily affects systems running on PAM U2F versions prior to 1.3.1 and stems from the authentication process not correctly handling certain errors. Ubico recommends that all affected customers immediately upgrade to the latest version of PAM U2F to mitigate the vulnerability. And now we'd like to thank today's episode sponsor, All
right, hold on. I'm like trying to get a refill on my coffee and realizing that my little coffee water boiler thing is out of water, and now I now I have basically poor man's crank coffee, where it's like enough coffee for a full cup, but I only have like 3 ounces of water. So stay tuned for the second half of the show when I start vibrating. Okay, so Ubico, who makes the YubiKey, whoops, I guess you guys should have been looking at that, not my ugly face. 2FA security flaw. So YubiKeys are the hardware keys. These things are dope. It's very difficult to fake a hardware key. This looks like it's a Linux and Mac issue. I think really the concern is more for the Mac users. Let's see really quickly. DJ BSEC, can you pull the EPSS on CVE 2025 23013, the one in this story, please? So pluggable authentication module, which is interesting, by the way, because when you see really quickly, when you see the acronym PAM in cybersecurity, 100 out of 100 security practitioners will think that's privileged access management. Nobody uses pluggable authentication module, PAM, as an acronym, just so we're all on the same page. And I'm actually going to feel pretty strongly about that. Normally I say, well, maybe they would say PAM in some circles. No, PAM is privileged access management. So right off the rip, I don't like that they did this, simply because this is an authentication related issue. And PAM is an authentication, or more of an authorization, but it's an access control thing. This to me seems like security research, where it's like, yes, it's possible, but it's like Saturn has to be in full full view of the moon, and you've like it has to be 37 degrees in North Dakota, and all these things have to happen in order for this bypass to happen. Okay, so basically the technical gap here is that this pluggable authentication module has a relief valve where if there is a seg fault, essentially, where it can't get memory or it can't, escalate the privileges the way it needs to, basically the pluggable authentication module is unable to execute for whatever reason. Instead of failing gracefully, it literally just sends an all clear thumbs up and says, "Don't worry about me. Don't worry about it." So essentially, this is a classic, dude. This is such a classic example. Like, this can't be more of a textbook example of where IT and cybersecurity diverge. Okay, IT is all about availability and making technology accessible to the workforce and in order to get things done. This is definitely written by a developer who was like focused on IT. It is a security method. Thank you very much. I love it. And I love that it helps support 2FA. Let's get 2FA on all the things. But the problem is when it fails, instead of preventing the person from logging in, which would result in an availability issue, it just gives it the all clear and lets them go on through. So I'm assuming that they're thinking like, oh, if the user got this far, it's probably okay. Let's let them through. So this is not good. A cyber person would have. This is basically allow by default versus deny by default, right? It doesn't fail gracefully. It says that this may return PAM success even when the auth file is missing or corrupted. There you go. So if you're a threat actor, you could corrupt this and get it going. Of course, listen, they'd still have to. First of all, there's a lot of things that would have to happen here. Number one, you'd have to be running YubiKey for your authentication. Number two, the threat actor would have to be able to know that and execute it. Number three, you have to be running Linux or Mac OS. And there's a lot of people running Apple. So let's not, say it's unlikely. But there's a lot of pieces that have to be in place before this even becomes an issue. The threat actor actually has to have your username and password or whatever your first factor of authentication is, right? So there's already compromise there. Now, data leaks and data breaches and that happens. Yes, it's not impossible, but this is, like I said, I was being silly, but it's what I meant. Saturn has to be in the view of the moon and the planets are aligned and there's a solar eclipse happening on Tuesday at 2 p.m. and it's warmer in North Dakota than in Miami at the same time. There's a million pieces that have to be put in place here. So let's keep going. Oh, but I mean, if you're running Mac or Linux, you got to patch it. You got to patch it.
Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Right now? We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across over 35 frameworks like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That's VANTA.com/headlines.
All right, hold on. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on one second. I didn't hear. Let's get the get the music going, and then I'll. All right. Guys, I want to say shout out and love. I see George Strasburger with a super chat at Gerald Auger. Happy mid-roll. Happy mid-roll to you too. Is there a place I can buy the Simply Cyber flag for my home office? This flag right here? Yes, sir. So let me tell you a little bit about the history of this thing. Base Case, who's been kind of dormant lately, but Base Case, one of the mods in the community, he actually bought 6 of these, kept one for himself, and mailed 5 to me. So I have a couple. It's not officially in the merch store, but you are not the first person to ask for it. George, there's a bit of an uptick in activity. I'm actually going to be mailing one to B-Dubs and James McQuiggan here when I get back to my home on Friday. And I will put this on the list, George Strasburger. Thanks for asking, and thanks for the super chat too. And I think, yep, I have to do the sound effect. I don't have it on my soundboard, so what? Did we just become best friends? Yep. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for the for being here today. I guys, I really, really appreciate it that you guys are so cool. When I am on travel and I'm in the mobile studio, you guys show up and bring the heat no matter what. Love this community. Thank you so very much for all you do. If you are here, hit that like button. It helps people, first-timers, find the show. We're trying to build the community up. Chris Whitlock's been crushing it on the Discord server as far as making the experience even better there. On January 31st from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're actually going to do a State of Simply Cyber. I'm going to schedule that as soon as this show's over today. So look for that. I'll announce it on the Discord server. But thank you to all of you for your continued support, effort, and really just being wonderful people to each other. I love being part of this community. Now, we do have to do Tidbits Tuesday, and I already gave a little bit of Tidbits Tuesday here. Oh, let me do this really quickly. I had to download all the graphics again because of the mobile studio. All right, Tidbits Tuesday. All right, really quickly. Let's do a quick read from Threat Locker, and then when we come back, I'm going to share my Tidbits Tuesday. This Tidbits Tuesday is has been disclosed by Mrs. Auger. This happened over the weekend. She's like, that's the Tidbits Tuesday. That's the Tidbits Tuesday for this week. So you guys are going to get, a hand-picked, curated Tidbits Tuesday as soon as we get back from the Threat Locker ad roll.
I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com.
All right. Thank you very much, Threat Locker, and thank you all of you. Guys, let me share a little Tidbits Tuesday. Every single day I do my a special segment. Tuesdays I share a little bit about me and let me know if it vibes with you. So many of you may or may not know, I don't really lie. I don't lie. I do spit truth. I think here's the thing. I don't have a great memory. Like I can remember facts and stuff, like book stuff. But I can't remember, like, what I said or what we did sometimes. So, to me, lying's stupid because I can't remember anyway. So, it's easier if I just always tell the truth, and that way I'm always consistent, right? But I just don't lie anyways. But when I do lie, I end up cracking up. And I was telling my kids... I was telling my kids on Sunday, I was like, oh, hey, the principal text messaged me and said that, because Monday was a holiday, the kids didn't have school. I said, hey, the principal just texted me and said that you're going to have to go to school tomorrow because of the winter weather days on later in the week. They want to make up for the school. So you got class on Monday. And but like as I'm saying it, my kids are like, are you serious? Like they were like all pissed off. They're like, are you serious? And like I'm like laughing my butt off. I'm like, ah, and like I can't simulate it, but there's a laugh I have that is directly the only time you hear this laugh is when I'm lying. And my wife is like, that is why you can't lie. That's why I know you're always telling me the truth, because she's like, that is like the worst tell ever. She's like, you are probably awful at poker because you're like all in and then you just start cracking up at the table. So I don't know about you guys. If you, I don't know if you guys can't lie, or if you have a tell, or you just like can't handle it. But it is. I mean, even right now, it's just it's so silly. All right, so that's your Tidbits Tuesday. I don't know about you guys if you vibe with me on that. If you try to give your kids a hard time. All right. Hey, Alpha Sierra. Shall we get our la 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 la's on? We'll have to do a read for Barricade Cyber after. Here we go. La 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 la's. All right. Yes, thank you to Barricade Cyber Solutions, y'all. Barricade Cyber Solutions, if you didn't know, they're in chat right now. They're absolutely dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil, but Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Your very own Eric Taylor, who's going to be hosting Jawjacking today, is the Chief Forensics Officer at Barricade Cyber. Great company, great people. Definitely have them on speed dial if you get punched in the mouth with a cyber compromise. Let's get back to the news.
Cyber threats are lurking in YouTube comments. A new study from Trend Micro highlights the rising danger posed by comments on YouTube videos. According to their findings, a significant number of comments contain phishing links or direct users to dangerous websites that host Luma or Vidar stealers. Some hackers are also leveraging file-sharing platforms like Mega and Mediafire to distribute malware. The responsibility to protect viewers from these risks often falls on content creators who should vigilantly monitor and manage comments posted beneath their videos. Failure to do so could result in the platform removing their content, especially if the creator was complicit in allowing harmful practices for personal gain.
Yeah, okay.
Ukraine's state...
So as a cybersecurity professional and a YouTube content creator, I'm particularly aware about this one. Now, listen, here's the deal. There's a lot of comments, okay? Like I think it's not fair to expect YouTube content creators to police their own comments consistently. Because anyone can, it doesn't scale well. I will tell you that YouTube has done a decent job of basically identifying some comments that look suspicious or fishy and holding them from posting. What we're seeing right now is there are a ton of like crypto related comments. So you guys may have seen, there'll be a comment where it's like, oh, hey, great content. Can you help me with my wallet? Here's my seed phrase, like banana, blender, tire iron, football. Like like you see it all the time. I have to delete those comments like probably like, every day, frankly. And it's literally a scam. I saw an uptick of bot activity not too long ago where there was like 10 comments in a row, and they're all talking about Web 3.0. And the comments are designed to engage with each other. So a victim who looks at the comments is like, oh, like it's like mob mentality. They're like, oh, look, there's like a bunch of people talking about this technology. Let me go double check that. So this is what they're talking about. Usual best practices. This is a great opportunity, frankly, to educate your end users and use this story as the basis for that. Listen, everybody, my Aunt Dorothea, my kids, my 9-year-old, right? Everybody knows what YouTube is. YouTube is literally the second most visited website on the internet. If anyone wants to guess number one, this is according to 2024. Drop a guess in chat. What's the number one most visited site on the internet? YouTube's number 2. So everybody knows about it. So if you come up with a little piece of educational awareness content around YouTube comments and the risk of them, it's going to resonate with your end users. The TLDR, don't click on links. Don't believe what you read in the comments, okay? no matter how juicy it is, no matter how cool it sounds. Especially, I would almost encourage you to like make the mess. There's really two opportunities here. Educate that like an adult population, but then also educate a younger population because listen, my kids right now, dude, if there was a YouTube comment, I guarantee my kids are a little savvy because I just beat them with cybersecurity knowledge all the time. But like, if there was a comment on like a Cypher PK video, who's like a huge Fortnite streamer that said like, "Ooh, get this like exclusive skin here," or check out this like custom map where you get to use this exclusive weapon or something like that, or like take a survey and get 100 free Robux or V-Bucks or whatever. Kids are going to click on that because honestly, kids are gullible. Kids don't know typically, and it seems like money for nothing, right? And most kids don't have money, so and they want things. So what's the easiest way to do that? You know, scoop it up. So I would definitely let people know that. Sagan Ayudel is correct. Google is the #1 website. A lot of adults in here putting adult websites. No. Google's #1, YouTube's #2, which is bananas, right? Because they're both owned by the same company. All right, let's keep going.
Registers restored following cyber attack. The infrastructure of Ukraine's state registers has been fully restored following a large-scale cyber attack back on December 19th, which was attributed to Russia's military intelligence services. Ukraine's Minister of Justice and Deputy Prime Minister for European and Euro-Atlantic Integration of Ukraine, Ola Stefanishna, announced in a Facebook post Monday that the unified and state registers were now fully operational. Stefanishna added that Russian attackers were unsuccessful in their objectives during the cyber attack and that no information from the registers was compromised. The Ministry of Justice is now updating the registers to add data entered during the restoration period. Stefanishna said the Ukrainian government has learned important lessons from this attack and is implementing key changes to its processes. Phishing.
All right, so this is interesting, and we can. I'll actually distill out kind of a valuable GRC lesson here, GRC Mafia. So Ukraine State Register, this is like their back-end infrastructure that housed a bunch of like federal system data, all right? So it's like back-end infrastructure to like manage their country. They were attacked, cyber attacked by Russia, allegedly, I guess, maybe just to be, fair. And they're back up and running. So they basically executed an instant response, right? They got hit. They detected it, obviously. They responded, and then they recovered. And then they restored key systems and registries, and now they're back up and running. Here is a couple things to point out. Ready? #1, they maintained some level of resiliency during this attack, okay? So they were down for a bit, but it's called cyber resiliency, not cybersecurity. I know it's spelt cybersecurity, but I'm telling you, if you know, you know. The name of the game is cyber resiliency. We are literally here to enable the business to operate in a secure way, which means even if the business is getting punched in the face, the business still needs to march forward and continue on its mission, whether it's making money or it's more righteous of a mission. Additionally, this is a massive infrastructure that got taken out. They noted in the story, and this is what I want you to take away. They recovered the systems in a certain order. Sometimes, sometimes, like in larger businesses, like threat actors aren't going to attack like one system, right? They're gonna go whole hog and like screw a bunch of stuff up. So what is the order? Sometimes you need IT infrastructure. Sometimes the domain controller needs to come up first, or else like the other systems can't see or authenticate, right? Then maybe you need to stand up like the ERP system or whatever, or like the Charleston site needs to come up before the DC site or whatever. It doesn't matter. So there's certain IT infrastructure elements that need to happen. Then let's just assume the IT infrastructure piece is there. then you got to talk to the business, guys. You cannot operate in a freaking vacuum. You got to talk to the business. What is it important here? Like, oh, you know what? Like our manufacturing facility in Puerto Rico makes like 75% of our revenue, right? It makes the Furby toys that is selling like hotcakes. Like that facility needs to come up first because that's the most important, or it has the biggest impact on our business not being available. All right, that's what they did in here, right? It says in the story that they started standing up, registries and notaries and stuff like that in a certain order. That's what I'm telling you. Like, listen, if you have a crap cybersecurity program and you got nothing figured out, then yeah, just try to get as best you can. Get the backups going. Make sure people know how to do it. But as you mature, this is what maturing an InfoSec program looks like. Once you mature it, instead of just standing things up willy-nilly, have a plan, have a strategy, understand the business impact. By the way, the business is going to love you when you're like you're coming at them and you're like, hey, like, I know that we've talked about backups, and from an IT perspective, we got these backups on lockdown, but listen to me, product lead, or listen to me, CFO, or listen to me, vice president of manufacturing operations, whatever. The wording is important. I want to serve you the best. I want to know if you can tell me or put me in contact with the right people. I need to know what are the most important things that make the most money for this business so I can ensure that those get up and operational first. They'll clear their schedule to meet with you to talk about that because you're serving them. You're helping them not lose revenue. You're helping them meet their annual metrics, which gets them, straight cash, homie. All right, so here we go.
Found most common smartphone security issue for consumers. The 4th annual Mobile Device Security Scorecard from Omdia revealed the most prominent mobile security issue faced by consumers across the globe was phishing scams. 24% of respondents say they experienced phishing texts, emails, or calls. The research also included hands-on device testing, which revealed that Samsung S24 offers the best anti-phishing protection, while Google Pixel 9 Pro leads with many other security features. The test showed that iPhone 16 Pro and other premium Android smartphones from Honor, Xiaomi, and OnePlus are lacking in robust security protections. Omdia sees value in smartphone vendors offering phishing safeguards to help protect consumers. The report also revealed the second most common security issue reported by consumers was malware and viruses, followed by physical theft.
What? Hold on one second.
Employees of failed.
This doesn't make any sense to me. Hold on, I'm just reading this really quickly because this didn't make sense to me. It's interesting. Okay, this is weird to me. So when you talk about a phone, the story here is that like Samsung S24, Google Pixel 9 does really good at anti-phishing protection, but that's a physical device, right? Like it's weird to me because like when I think of anti-phishing, I think of, email security gateway. So like Google Mail, right? Gmail or Hotmail or AOL Mail, whatever you're using. Or like Skibbity Ohio Mail for you Gen Z people. I'm sure you got that going on. Like before it even gets to you, that's anti-phishing. Then when it gets to you and you see the email and you click on the link, right? And you're going to go to a maliciously controlled website. Like I don't see how the phone does anything at that point. So to me, it's like more of the operating system, I suppose, or not even the operating system. Like when I click on the link, what's the phone going to do? How does it know what I'm talking about? Like I could see the phone having anti-malware capabilities. Like if the threat actor is trying to put like a transparent overlay on the screen so it can steal your key logins and stuff. But anti-phishing, I mean, it says it's here, so that must be what's up. But they even said one, like getting a phone call and it's saying spam or telemarketer, which by the way, I love when it says that. That to me comes from the telco provider, not the phone provider. Like Google Pixel 9 doesn't know. It's AT&T knows. So I don't know. I guess this is one of those stories. I don't research or prep for the show, so it's very hard for me to like comment on this. But to me, this subverts my expectations because I don't think of, the phone is where the anti-phishing technique is, right? It's not like you're like, oh, like basically, like check this out. If I have the Google Mail app on my phone and I have a Google Pixel 9 and I have a Samsung S24 and then I have some like jitterbug track phone, which I know doesn't have Google Mail, but just work with me on this. And the same email comes in and I take the same action. This story is suggesting that I'm going to have different experiences with a phone that's better at anti-phishing. I don't know. I'll have to dig into it. I would recommend you look into it too, because literally, even though this is great anti-phishing, lots and lots of people use their mobile device now, like almost more than desktops and stuff, for consuming information and email and text messaging and stuff like that. So it's definitely an attack surface. And if you can get any type of anti-phishing defenses or anti-phishing capabilities from different phones, then why not? Go for it, right? I'm telling you, spending an extra $100 on a phone, it's worth it because you're gonna lose more than $100 if you fall victim to a phish or a threat actor.
Startups at risk of stolen personal data. Dylan Airy, co-founder and CEO of Truffle Security, discovered that malicious hackers could potentially buy the defunct domains of failed startups and use them to log into employee cloud accounts. To test the flaw, Airy bought one failed startup's domain and from it was able to log into ChatGPT, Slack, Notion, Zoom, and an HR system containing social security numbers.
That is actually a really interesting attack vector. Sorry, I keep forgetting to switch. So check this out. Basically, it says failed startup, but like any business that had a domain, yes, Google's number one site on the internet. Employees, it could be anyone, but failed startups you can see really quickly. There's actually websites. I think it's called Crunchbase website, which allows you to like look up startups and stuff like that. The risk here is that they're assuming that startups are going to use best of breed technology. So a startup is going to use ChatGPT. A startup's going to use Monday.com or Miro or Microsoft 365, right? So the idea is that you can take advantage of federated authentication in order to access those basically abandoned accounts. I think it's actually a really interesting threat vector. I'd have to think about how you would manage this because literally all day, every day, I love myself some federated authentication because with cloud, it's really difficult to know like what the sprawl is of how much sprawl your end users have, right? So if you got a Carl in your environment, by the way, first timers, Carl is a token end user that we reference here. When you have a Carl in your environment and he's just like signing up for every cloud service, but creating unique accounts all over the place, that's not good when Carl gets fired because Carl continues to have that access. But with federated authentication, you terminate or disable their Microsoft 365 account, their Google Workspace account, and then bing, bang, boom, they try to authenticate and it's down. I think the best practice there is if you are basically this is system life cycle, right? So if you are a failed startup or you're going to close your business, you do have to decommission and turn down not turn down for what? That's what immediately came into my head. Turn down for what? But you do have to decommission systems. You have to turn stuff off. You have to expire credentials. You have to disable user accounts. Again, it typically sucks because you're basically losing your job. So your give an F about the company is very low at that point. But if you are in a position of authority, you may want to make sure that you include this in your business processes. The thing is, this happens very infrequently, honestly. All right, let's go. We're behind schedule, too. All right, y'all. Guys. Whoops. Oh, hold on. There we are. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Guys, thank you so very much. I genuinely had a great time today. Thank you. As always, the mobile studio, is we're demonstrating cyber resiliency right now, my friends, right? Mobile Studio, 80% show. We're bringing the bangers to you. Episode 796, whether it's in a hotel or it's at the studio or it's in my garage, we deliver the heat for you. Stay tuned. We've got Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber Solutions who's going to be coming in here and answering all your questions with an AMA Ask Me Anything called Jawjacking. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I'm going to go off and get some work done, but I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you come back. Bring a friend. Be well. Until next time, stay secure.
Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Happy Freeze Your Butt Off in America Day. That's right. Let's get the new president to make another day. Today should be National Freeze Your Butt Off in America Day, because I think everybody is freezing their butt off. Even us down here in the South, it's crazy, crazy cold. You know, those who are not in the Southeast, we typically get like 1 or 2 weeks of really cold weather. Every once in a while, it'll last a little bit longer. But Jiminy Christmas, it's cold. Like it's not normal for us to wake up and it's still below freezing. It's just not. Everybody in chat, put in there what state you're in and what your temperature is, right? I want to know who's got the coldest temperature right now. George Strasburger, I know, is in the northeast region. He's at -3. John V, what's going on? What's going on? Just looking at chat. Nick says -13 here. F that, Nick. No, sir. No, sir. Justin is -5. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it good, buddy. Alpha Sierra says, hope you are staying warm. Doing our best. We are doing our best. Thanks for the heads up on that, Justin. Let me ask a follow-up question on that. While I'm doing that and we're queuing up things, remember, this is Ask Me Anything, so I will ramble for as long as time allows. And I will say, put the Q : mark with your question. Myself and or the mods will find it, and we'll kind of go at it from there. Question from SCold07. What headset is that? This is a Concert. Yep. It's kind of dirty. Holy moly. Y'all ever notice that? Like your camera, like it doesn't look very dirty to me, but when you got that high def, and I'm like, it's like, holy moly. I feel like everything looks dirtier on camera. Like I need to take some bleach wipes or something to it. Like my keyboard, I know it's got, a little dander and stuff like that. But when you're actually on your camera, it's like, holy crap, that's magnified. I want to throw it in the trash and buy a new one. Ah, gotcha. So I'm just catching up on mod chat. Let me see what questions are here. I don't have the privilege of having DJ BSEC in the chat, in the green room. No. Are you saying you got a new haircut? Because I can tell you what, This is not a new haircut. I'm actually going today to get a new haircut. This is normally very tight. It's, a little TMI, but I do like a 1-2-3 fade. So still used to, still can't get out of the high and tight type stuff. It's not quite high and tight, but I still keep a semblance of that. So this is definitely not a haircut. All right, I seen that question. All right, the pros and cons of OpenVAS for vulnerability scanner. To be honest with you, I don't know. I just don't use a tool. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it, but I've also heard a lot of people talk about the false positives. My understanding from some of the people I've talked to, and this has been about a year ago, probably, because we have one client that I'm specifically remembering that from time to time, and I think they were using the commercial version of it, and it was still heavily with false positives. And that's some of the real problems with the vulnerability scanners, Nessus, Qualys, OpenVS, all that. They're it's a scanner, right? You're going to have a bunch of false positives potentially inside that. Sorry, my phone is blowing up today. Let me pick the right phone. Sorry. So you actually need something that will go and verify the vulnerability that it's reporting, right? So I would just say try the community version of it and see how those results play out for you. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Zombie Bay Justin, member for 26. Oh, this is a member shot. Message, military buzzcut Eric. That's what you need. Only if I want to be divorced. Question from Jay. Hello, I'm a college student in my junior year. When I have two interns lined up, cybersecurity major. I was wondering how to best set myself up for a help desk job. I mean, maybe then I don't have enough coffee in me yet, but you already have 2 internships lined up. You got a job. Jay, do me a ask a little bit more because I'm confused. Because to me, when I read this, again, I may not have enough coffee in me, and I just got done freezing my bum off outside helping a couple of neighbors with some power issues. Because those who don't know, I used to be an industrial electrician, so this house stuff is easy to me. I don't have to bend conduit. So, when I read this, it looks like you already have jobs. So I'm not sure why you're looking for a job. If you're asking like what, I'll go out on a limb. Let's just say hypothetically you're asking how to make sure that your first 90 days are successful. I would go in there with an empty mind, not like duh, but go in there with an empty mind, like, and just suck up knowledge. Ask questions. Say, oh, you're doing it that, my school trained me this way, and I know it's not the only way, but explain to me why you did it that way. And talk to other people, not trying to call Bob out. He's doing it kind of this way, and I see you're doing it kind of this way. Give me your mindset, and you're going to pick up your own flow of doing things, right? So go in there with an open mind, be inquisitive. People who ask questions typically have the best results, in my personal opinion. catch up on mod. All right, let's look for other questions here. Into that one. What's the best way to gain fast skills and trust the process? Trial and error? Literally. Yeah, I mean, hacking is nothing more than trial and error. You're going to be like, ooh, I see an open LDAP for authentication, right? You're going to, you're going to start throwing. Sorry, I'm getting pinged in so many chats right now. May have to actually end this one a little bit early just because I'm getting flooded with stuff. LDAP. So you got LDAP going. You found LDAP on the open web or whatever, and it's an authentication method that you want to exploit. You're going to throw Mimikatz at it, see if it can exploit that. You're going to throw other open source tools, and it depends on what the server is. What vulnerabilities are there? How good does this tool work on exploiting that CVE versus another tool? That's why pen testers have so many tools available to them, because they're going to just throw everything at it to see what sticks. And you're going to find that one tool works better than the other in your personal preference and situation. So it literally is, unfortunately, trial and error. And you just got to go through that. And once you learn the tools, you learn what the tool sets can do in certain situations, then you'll trust that process. All right. So, and you're always looking at, new ways of doing things, and you'll do the same thing. Right. Nick Barker asks, what is a great way to learn how to use a SIM? I would say get an ELK stack, ELK, which is Elastic, Logstash, and Kibana. It's like all one big massive container. So you get one of those servers. It's free, open source that you can use, and pipe in your router firewall, your syslog firewall router in your home, and a couple of your workstations to it, and you're starting to learn how to use a SIM. Hopefully that helps. I know it's kind of rudimentary, but I mean, it really is no more complicated than that. And a lot of these things, you just don't need to overthink it, right? Just set up a VM, or you can get like one of those, what is it called? Ansible devices. I can't remember how much they are anymore. I heard they're relatively cheap. You may be able to do a Raspberry Pi, even though it'll be kind of underpowered from what the requirements are for an ELK stack. But just get something with a little bit of oomph to it, put that on there, and pipe some of your local devices and learn how to use it. How do I filter? How do I do this? And while the technology may be different from job to job and tool to tool, the fundamentals of why you're doing it will still be there, right? So give me some interview tips for the director level interview. All right. This is a little bit of humor, but literally you're going to sit there and just ask them. So in this role, how would you see me succeeding? What in this role, or in 90 days of being in this role, what looks like winning to you? In the next 90 days, what problems would you like me to solve? Things like that. You're already putting them into the position that you are already have the job, and you're visualizing it mentally inside of you, or inside. That's the wrong way to say that. Sorry. They're mentally visualizing you in that role. So mind games. That's what I did in the Marine Corps to some degree. Welcome to my non-TED Talk. Ooh, I think I saw one. Where do you see cyber threat intel, CTI, having a major role in the near future? Dude, Jay, it already does right now. If you're in cybersecurity, you need to be ingesting CTI. You need to be building out CTI because half the time you got to go cross-reference. Hey, what's this IP? Have we seen this IP? Has it been correlated with something else that's already happened in the past that maybe somebody else has already done? CTI is a very real thing right now in any cybersecurity job. So build it out today. John V asks, are you utilizing any Gen AI in your day-to-day work? Additionally, how about your personal life or a personal life use or for AI? So some of the tools that we use have LLM, large language model, AI. Are we processing AI in a case-by-case scenario? Like if we just have a ton of, we have like one big massive vulnerability that just hit or something like that, and we don't have time to fully digest and rip it apart in like Cyber Chef or whatever, we may potentially, depending on the client and, what we think it is, we may throw it into an AI tool to help us to quickly decode all the base 64s and, just all this stuff just to help, truncate it all down for us real quick. But in a day-to-day, like we're not using Copilot, we're not using any of that stuff right now. So I'm very excited about what it could do in the near future. I'm just not there yet. I hope to be soon. In your estimation, or is it even quantifiable, which are more likely to hold the best value and can offer better opportunities, AWS or Microsoft? Man, that is a massive crystal ball that I just don't know. I don't think either one is going away anytime soon by any stretch of the imagination. AWS, Microsoft, and GCP, Google Cloud product, any or all of those is very viable in any industry you're going into. We've had a lot of cases recently that have multitudes of both platforms. So they have an AWS team, they literally have an Azure team. So, I mean, it's not, I don't say one is more valuable than the other. I think AWS is really, really good at containerization and doing things like that. And where Azure is more of a full-on infrastructure. So, but it just depends on the needs of the client and what they're trying to do. And that's why we see a lot of organizations using multiple cloud infrastructures and, building site to sites between the cloud tenants and things of that nature. So, getting the questions from chat, mod chat. Thank you, Justin Gold. See you later, Jenny Hasley. Thanks for posting that out. So, Shariah's, let me try to find this user real quick. If you're new here, Hooked on Phonics really sucks for me, and I will butcher your name until the day I die. So If I mispronounce your name, don't take it personally, please. I do it to everybody. Thanks. I've been rejected from 3 director level interviews, namely KPMG, Deloitte, and I've always failed in a director level interview. But best of luck. You know what you could do is just a follow up. Say, hey, thanks for taking the time. Please let me know so I can better myself. What was the 1 or 2 things that did not resonate with you during this interview process? I'm looking to better myself, and answering those questions will definitely help me. So definitely try that. Got a question from Connor, and we do see some folks not putting the Q mark there. So do us all a favor, and please make sure you put the Q mark there so we can all see it. Do SOC analyst roles require a degree, or does small application support experience help get the job? I wouldn't say a SOC analyst role does not require a degree for a entry-level SOC analyst, right? You're doing the grunt work. You're looking at logs just flying by. You're building out queries, things of that nature. You don't need a degree for that. I could say small application support may help you because you're digging through that application logs, right? You're getting to what caused that problem for that error. And SOC analyst is almost the same thing. You're building out queries to hunt evil. Different mentality, but the fundamentals are there. Look, that's like saying, you went and got your Cisco CNA network associate, but you're applying in non-Cisco shops. So guess what? We know that a Cisco CNA it has that core fundamentals. You know what NAT translation is. You know what IP routing is. You know what a gateway. You know how to build routes. While it may not one-to-one translate with a Palo Alto or a FortiGate or whatever firewall of choice that you have, the fundamentals, the technology, the understanding that you went through to get that will translate because it's all the same under core pinning. And you just got to learn the way that particular application does it. So man, I am getting pinged hard over here. All right, I do know there's a couple questions that are still pinging. Again, I am getting pinged like nobody's business over here this morning. So I do need to bow out and get work does call. I definitely do need to get these clients taken care of, and I hope y'all understand that. With that, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all, I really do feel bad for ending this shortly, especially with 258 of y'all wonderful people here. But we will try it again next Thursday or next Tuesday to stick longer as normal. But again, with all these clients coming in, we definitely need to get them taken care of. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please be curious, be safe out there. And if you have any grass, go out there and touch it. All right. Take care, y'all.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal, then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your...
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.